Right, is that on? Looks like it's on. I just need to move a little bit. Yeah, hopefully that's on. How are you doing? I thought I'd do a quick sit rep because obviously the people that watch this channel, who I would like to consider as being, you know, like I've cultivated an audience of stoic, tough, stoic bootcattiers. Apparently not. Apparently you all whinge like, you worry like mother hens. And I've had fucking dozens of people sending me messages saying like, has Matty been banned? Has the Bootneck been forever excoriated by his nemesis, the winged beast of Silicon Valley? No, I'm still here. Those of you that pay attention and actually watch all the time are obviously well aware of what's gone on. But apparently some of you aren't. So I thought I'd give you a quick sit rep. How are you doing? Den developers in. Hello. Online killer Davy Bruce disciple. How are you doing? Mr. Question Mark thought I was dead, see? You ignorant bastards. Don't pay attention, do you? Fuck, Susan. Don't start me on Susan. Not while I'm in a good mood. So here's a quick sit rep for everybody. And then we'll do a bit of news for a crack while I'm still sober. Because I've got one more night on the piss in London before I go back to the United States. So yeah, we can do that. What does this little wand do? Is this going to make me look more handsome? What is it? Oh, there, you can change the filters. What's going to make me look better looking? Bubbles? What's... We could do the stream from a gay bar. Yeah, get in. Let's get naked and daisy chain round the fucking double bed in this budget hotel. What else have we got? Dawn. Yeah, they're all a bit shit, aren't they? Crush. What's normal? What is one of these going to shower me with dicks? One of these will shower me with dicks, I'm sure. No, that one. That'll do. There we go. That looks quite sunny. We'll keep that one. There we go. Fuck off, then. So, right. What's the crack? Yeah. So I haven't been banned. A haircut is required. Here, the fucking Sergeant Major's in. The Sergeant Major's in. I went back for a wedding. My best mate's wedding. It's my best mate's little sister's wedding. And I've known him 30 odd year. So I've known her since she was 2 foot high. So I went back for that, predominantly. It just happened to coincide with the Jubilee weekend. So we extended the trip a little bit. Thought we'll stay down here, get pissed, wander around London. And that's it. I've been back in the UK for like 12 days or whatever it is. Swung by and saw Blue Van Man. So I was happy about that. Oh, hey, look. Oh, they've only got ringtones in here. You know, it's a posh hotel when they've got ringtones. Fancy. Me favourite Geordie tea, that. Ringtons, by the way, is a great replacement for Yorkshire tea. Not that replacement. I mean tea replacement. If you haven't tried it, get Rington's tea. It's a Geordie company. It's an old Geordie company and it's bang on. So yeah, Rington's, good one. War Daddy Miniatures knows the crack. Used to give him some on bins. Rington's Miniatures, bang on. Rington's Miniatures. Rington's tea, bang on. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about tea. So yeah, that's it. There's nothing interesting to tell you. Suza hasn't got me by the plums, as far as I'm aware. Well, as far as I'm aware, I've simply been back in the UK for 10 days. Oh yeah, right, Jack. Is that, yeah, I forgot that was your company name, Jack. War Daddy, I like it. And yeah, that's that. So I'm one more night in London and I'm flying back tomorrow. I think I'm having a night in LA with my mother-in-law. Well, I say with my mother-in-law. I'm not going to hang out with my mother-in-law. I'm just staying there because we get in late. And then I'll be back home on Wednesday. Have you got the coof? I don't know. I've had a cold for like 10 days. But again, either I definitely haven't, in which case that's fine, or I have, and if I have, it's even more pissed me off because I've been slagging off the pandemic response for 2 years. And if the fucking Rona is this gay, i.e. where it basically feels like a mild cold, then it makes it even more egregious that they locked us all in the fucking house for 2 years, doesn't it? So either way, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off if it's a minor cold, and I'm pissed off if it is the coof. So that pisses me off as well. That pisses me off. It was it's an international scandal that we got fisted because of that bloody pandemic. So there you go. News. Shall I do some news while I'm here? So by the way, and thanks Callum. Yeah, I did a podcast with Blue Van Man. That was sound. I knew that was going to be though, right? I mean, I can rub along with anyone. You can tell from watching Blue Van Man's videos that he's a normal, pleasant, good crack fella. So I had no concerns about that. We just rocked up and did it because he watches me streams, and he said, when you come back we'll have a chat, and we did. Sound, and he gave me plenty of booze, so fucking loving that. If I knew people doing podcasts were going to give me booze, all that, I'd turn up and do more. Definitely. I don't think it's an allergic reaction to weddings, no. So yeah, that was sound as well. So in between, the Blue Van Man interviews aired. I think he put it out last night at 6, Davey Boy. So go and check his channel out, and it's just on there. I also shared it in my community posts that nobody sees, because Susan's got me by my bollocks. So yeah, there is that. So it's already out there if you want to go and watch it. Sound just sat and talked bollocks for an hour and 10 minutes or whatever it was. Right, to current affairs just to do before I go back, to give you a taste when I get back. 2 things I want to talk about, right? First thing is this Boris Johnson vote of no confidence, right? I voted for Boris Johnson, and the Borough MP, Simon Clarke, was on social media today saying he was definitely gonna support Boris Johnson. And I said to him, well, unfortunately then, if you are definitely going to support Boris Johnson, you're definitely going to get resoundingly twatted in the next general election, because I voted for a Conservative, not a weak, wimpy, woke, limp-wristed fucking albino jellyfish. So win or lose, I haven't noticed. I've been out for breakfast and went for a walk, and I haven't checked the news. I don't know whether he won his vote or not. From looking at social media, I would assume he did, because it seemed like 8 out of 10 moron politicians were supporting him. Conservatives, that is. And all I have to say about that is then they are doomed, which will lead in line with my hypothesis, which I've been saying for a long time, which is the Tories need to get decimated in the next general election, and the UK needs to get a lot worse before it gets better, because essentially there is no Conservative Party in the United Kingdom. The Conservative Party in the United Kingdom has been taken over from the inside and eaten like a fucking one of those little slugs that them parasitic wasps gets into and eats them alive from the inside out. All right, there you go, between 6 and 8 tonight. I'd assume he'll win it, because from looking at the general consensus on Twitter, and it's irrelevant to people like me, because I'm well aware that the Conservative Party has been eaten alive. If he was to get replaced by someone like Mogg or Gove, who at least apparently comes off as outwardly conservative, I worry that that'd just delay the inevitable, because they're just going to do the same, aren't they, and talk a good game until the second the cross in 10 Downing Street, and then there will be slimy, weaselly, lefty wankers. So I think it's probably better if he stays, and then the Conservatives get resoundingly destroyed in the next general election. Because as I've been advocating to you lot for a long time, I feel like that needs to happen. Happy birthday, Caleb. Happy birthday, son. As a birthday present, Boris Johnson can stay on as Prime Minister. You lucky bastard. So yeah, I don't really care either way. I think that's what needs to happen. I think he stays in. Labour absolutely piss the next general election, and then Labour proceed to totally fuck up the country, and only after about 4 years of that when the Conservatives have realised, because it's only going to be about 1/3 of us, 1/4 of us, that are going to have the balls to just refuse to vote Conservative in the next general election. And then the normies will finally realise, after unburied dead fill the streets, the bins haven't been emptied for 8 weeks, and London looks like Mogadishu. Only then are the normies going to get behind either a third party or a completely gutted Conservative party that's actually conservative, that the general public want. Again, which isn't even that conservative. Nobody in England's a far-right fascist. All people want is the basic tenets of conservatism, which is tough on crime, tough on immigration, and then strong support for British institutions, culture, and identity. That's it. Don't have to do anything weird. Don't have to start with the mass deportations. Just common sense deportations of criminals and the work shy and the illegals and fucking. I mean, you only have to do that and you'd get rid of 500,000 shitbags, wouldn't you? You don't have to do anything rash. I'm not advocating stripping people that have got citizenship or people that have paid the taxes for 8 years just because they happen to be foreign. I'm on about just basic centrist conservatism. Law and order, tough on crime, strong defence of the fucking locals, common sense, centrist conservatism. No more wokeism, no more environmental claptrap, just fucking do that. But we're not going to get that, and nobody's going to do that, and I'm sure Michael Gove won't give us that, and Jeremy Hunt, the slimy little fucking rat bastard, won't give us that. So we probably need Johnson to stay and Labour to destroy them in the next general election, and things to get much, much worse before they get better, which is what I've told you. Online killers voting Reform UK. Well, like I said, a lot of people will, but not enough will to beat Labour in the next general election. So we're getting hammered. We're getting hammered in the next general election. The commies will win the next general election. I guarantee you that. So like I said, just embrace it. I'm what they call an accelerationist, right? Embrace it. Embrace the suck, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to get much, much worse before it gets better. So who cares? Let's just cackle maniacally as the world goes to shit. Because it will get better eventually. It always does. Prevention's better than a cure, but we've never seemed to have the brains to do it that way. We always have to do it the fucking hard way. So, yeah, we have to do it the hard way. We're always the same. The normies don't pay attention, so we've got to do it the hard way. And that means we've got to see things get much, much, much worse before they get better. It's annoying, I know, but hey, everybody can't be as sensible as us, can they? And then let's talk about one more thing before we bugger off. The other thing I want to talk about is my homeland now across the pond. Joe Biden's going all in on trying to get this weapons ban pushed through. No more ARs, no more long-barrelled semi-automatic rifles, no large magazines. And he says you can't have them because you don't need one. And this is what really, really grinds my fucking gears on this subject, right? Let me tell you. Full disclosure, Bootneck's got a firearm in his house, he's got a nice handgun with a good-sized magazine, and when he was living in Alabama, which is 4 or 5 years ago, he had an AR. He sold it when he moved to California with his wife because, being a limp centrist twat like he is, he thought, yeah, fair enough, I don't care that much. I'm not gonna go balls to the wall over it. But as usual, the world's changed in the last few years. And let me explain to you, as Glock 19 for me, because I've got smaller mitts, JP. When he got little hands, a Bootneck. He's only 5'9". Essentially, it's this, and this is why my position's evolved, right? I.e., 4 years ago, I was happy to give my AR up. I was like, fair enough, I'll meet the lefty liberals halfway. Don't really need it. It is only for killing people. Fair enough. And as usual, as you're all regular bootcateers know, I'll explain my position reasonably and logically, and how I've gone from one to the other. No shame, because unlike the woke, I don't mind changing my mind. I'll follow the evidence where it goes. Right? Essentially, Since the Black Lives Matter movement, so a few years ago now, we've seen numerous, hundreds of mass shootings in the United States, and they didn't care. And when the Black Lives Matter activists were shooting dozens of people, they didn't care. And when they killed a police chief in Seattle, or wherever it was, they killed an actual serving police chief, they didn't care. When they started a chaz or a chop, whatever the silly, dirty, smelly, scruffy twats called it in Seattle, they didn't care. They never care. They don't enforce the law. When Kate Stanley, God bless her, was murdered by an illegal immigrant with a fucking handgun in San Francisco, they didn't care. He got off. He didn't get done for murder. He walked because they said, ooh, Donald Trump said something that was a little bit prejudiced. So let's just let him off with murder. Let's just let him off with murder. So my position has evolved because what's obvious is they're not interested in enforcing the law when it doesn't suit them. The law is no longer blind. If they were doing it as it's intended and Lady Justice was still wearing that vaunted blindfold, I wouldn't have a chip on both shoulders about it, but they don't. You can shoot people that they don't like and they don't enforce the law. So in the last 4 years, my trust in the state has gone from very, very high, stupid in hindsight, I was wrong again, to very, very, very fucking low, lower than a rattlesnake's ball sack, lower than a limbo dancing dwarf. That's how low it is. And all of a sudden now they say, oh, well, you don't need an AR because you only need them for killing people. Yeah. Well, what if the people I need to kill are in defence of my wife and family? What if the president's own son, this is me going back to not enforcing the law, what if the president's own son, who's proven, and I've seen the disgusting photos on his laptop that the media didn't share with everybody, what if the disgusting pervert, sexual deviant, career criminal, felon, liar, tax cheat, fraud, druggie, sexual deviant freak show comes round my house with his illegal firearm and he lied on a federal form, which is a felony, and he didn't get charged for it? What if he comes around my house with 5 of his sex pest friends and they want to do me harm or rape my fucking missus? I want the best long-barreled weapon I can have to stop people like Hunter Biden or government fucking degenerate sex fiends from coming round and doing me harm. And when I have never broke the law and I don't have a criminal record, I'm allowed a gun for my protection, and I want a nice long AR-15, thank you very much, because I want to be as tooled up as the wankers coming round my house. I don't think, after what the government all around the Western world have done in the last 4 or 5 years, I don't trust them anymore. So my position's evolved. If you lads had done your job properly and you hadn't fucked everything up, fucked it like Hunter Biden when he's been snorting Viagra and Coke, I don't believe you have my best interests at heart. So I want an AR-15, and I'm a law-abiding citizen in my 40s with no mental illness and no criminal record. So why do I want one? None of your business, Senator. Baldy, tax cheat, fraudster, liar, crook, Senator. None of your business. The Founding Fathers, in their infinite wisdom, didn't put on the Second Amendment, you can have a gun as long as you explain to someone in power what you want it for. That's not in there, mate. I've fucking read it, son. I've read it. That's not in there. Got nothing to do with you what I want it for. I don't have to tell you what I want it for. All I have to do, and again, I'm not a gun nut. If I had 3 felonies, if I was a career felon, crook, cheat, liar, scumbag, vermin, gibbering, drugged up, chinless vermin like the president's son, then I shouldn't be allowed to get a gun. But he got one. He got a gun, and he's not getting charged with anything. So I want one. Simple. I want one. I want one. Not up to you. I don't have a criminal record. I'm law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. I want one. Suck on it. How about that? Put that in your crack pipe and smoke it, you scrawny fucking sex fiend. Put that in your crack pipe and smoke it. I want one. Nothing to do with you. Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi. What do you need that for? Don't care. Doesn't say it there. Doesn't say Second Amendment. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed unless Nancy Pelosi says, what do you want it for? Doesn't say that, does it? Doesn't say wet, lefty, self-serving woman who entered politics with no money and now she's worth $300 million, so yeah, she's mega trustworthy. Yeah, she's got to ask you what it's for. None of that's in there. All it says is, shall not be fucking infringed. And if you're going daft like Joe, so you don't know what infringed means, and you certainly couldn't spell it, I'll tell you what infringed means. It says, you can't get in my bastard road. That's what it means. So suck on it. My position's evolved for logical reasons. You have demonstrated that the law is an ass. The law is not blind. The people that rule lord it over us. The crooks that lie and cheat and steal and embezzle and rape children and do as they please. The law is not equal. It ignores their crimes and it crushes us for minor ones. So I want one. Anything to help attempt to level the playing field. And the idea that after everything they've done in the last few years, because of the actions of two blokes, none of the hundreds of other ones have been mentioned, the actions of two mentally ill weirdos should mean that perfect strangers aren't allowed a gun anymore. It doesn't even make sense, does it? It's very North Korean. It's North Korean because they say in North Korea, if your great-grandfather did something wrong, you're liable for his crimes. In the West, we don't work that way. We don't work that way. I shouldn't be punished for the actions of a perfect stranger. So I want one. I'm now with the gun nut. 4 years ago I wasn't. Now I am. And I believe I've perfectly encapsulated in reasonable parlance, other than the occasional insult and swear word, exactly why I want one and why I think it's reasonable to have one. Simple. And just read the Constitution. Easy. It's not rocket science. Doesn't need to be translated. I just want one. If it's going to slightly even the playing field and make it slightly more likely that four pot-bellied flatfoots working on behalf of the local government who are corrupt are going to come round my house and try it on, then I want one. That's reason enough to have one. They say, oh, nobody needs one. Yeah, but I want one. That's reason enough to have one. If I could get a fucking Robocop suit and a chain gun mounted on the top of my garage, and I knew that it would make them slightly more hesitant to come round my house and take the piss out of me, I'd get one. So, yeah, my position's changed. If you twats had done your job in the last 4 years and not utterly crushed all of my reasonable centre-left tendencies, which made me trust the state and believe in stupid idealistic things like, oh yeah, the people in charge want the best for us. You know, you must plant trees whose shade you'll never sit in. They don't do that anymore. We're run by scum. We are run by scum. Hunter Biden could fuck an 8-year-old on national television and they wouldn't do anything about it. They wouldn't do anything about it. They just lie. 3 years, it's all lies, all Russia. Hunter Biden's laptop wasn't real. Look what they've done. And then you've got Eppers with old Hillary getting him in a fucking Jake the Snake Roberts, doing a DDT on him in the middle of his cell. This is where we're living. And you want me to trust the government? Really? Really? If Pelosi could come round my house and rip my fucking nutsack clean off, she would do. These are the people who rule the fucking world. If you disagree with them, they want to hurt you. So yes, I want an AR, and got nothing to do with you. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've never broke the law. Suck my fucking fat one, Nancy. All right? Right, that was nearly half an hour. I think that'll do you, considering I'm sat in a hotel room in London and there are dozens of pubs out there calling me. I can feel it, coo, like the dove from above. The tractor beam is on me from the local Fullers. Oh, look at that, I got a paid one. Oh no, you know Susan gets like 40% of that. Let's have a look. The English Loyalist. Always carry in mind now, Uvalde has proven the police can't be trusted, even in the UK, when the police covered the groom guy. Yeah, indeed. Again, if you're paying attention, like Mr. English Loyalist, the powers that be do not like us, they're not working in our best interests, and they cannot be trusted. So arm yourself in any way you can. And if you're English, get yourself on Google. I did this last week, talking to my dad about tooling up. Get yourself on Google, find out what's fucking legal, and get it. Anything, ranged. I don't know whether you can have a crossbow, I don't know, because my mate got his fucking bike pinched last week by a load of random foreign strangers who were outside his house, and because he's a moron, my mate Jim, he's sound, but his friend's a middle-class, wet London lefty, and he's there with his phone out the window going, oh, you're on camera, you know, you're on camera, and they're like, you shut up, you shut up, you, while it's stealing his bike, and he's just there with his camera phone thinking that's going to do something about it. What a wanker. I'd have done anything. I don't know what I'd have done. I'd have got the strongest spirit out of the kitchen and tried to blow the fuckers up, at least. But if you're in America, tool up as best you can. And if you're in England, get yourself on Google, find out everything that's legal, because again, I can't and don't advocate illegal behaviour, because you have to be whiter than white. You have to be whiter than white, because if you're not whiter than white, they'll get you. They'll get you in any way they can. So I'm not advocating anything illegal. You have to be whiter than white. In fact, I mean, fuck me. They've looked into Trump so much in the last fucking 5 years. I'm starting to think he's never had a bastard parking ticket. They've said he's done all this shit. It's always turned out to be lies. I feel as if there was anything at all that could possibly find, they'd have had him for it. So get yourself on Google, do all your due diligence, make sure you do it legally, and tool yourself up as best as you can. Save your money, stay physically fit. All the advice I've been giving you guys for years. Stay fit, stay focused, stay strong. Tool yourself up, save your money, and get ready for the fucking boogaloo, because it's coming. We cannot be led this badly for this long and it not eventually kick off. Because we really are lions led by fucking donkeys. Lions led by disabled, dyspraxic donkeys with dildos. This is where we're at. So I'm going out on the piss for one last hurrah, and I'll crawl onto the fucking plane like a human slug, covered in my own shit, and hopefully get some sleep, and I'll be back streaming, as far as I'm aware, all being well, on Thursday. So I'll do the BBC Spews on Thursday. Thank you, everybody, for persevering and still being around, even though I haven't been for 2 weeks. Go and check out Blue Van Man's podcast if you want, because it was a good crack and he's a fucking good lad. He's genuinely entertaining to listen to and talk to. And yeah, that's that. Thanks for listening. See you all in 3 days, give or take. All right? Take it easy. See you all soon. Cheers.